Okay, and we're back. We're here with another episode of Metal Gear Resurrections, the long lost prodigal son, the brother, my brother. Jonathan's returned. Jonathan.
Hello.
So we're back, and we're here to talk about like a return to the music of the series, and plus the games as well. Um, and I figured, where better stuff to start off is to go back to basically the past, but not like way, way too back. We're gonna go to like the 70s and like hit up Big Boss back when he was like running and gunning in Costa Rica. And what else to do on Costa Rica but like hot man on man action on the beach by the beach with all your soldiers. That's the greatest thing to like start a game off. It's like, hey, you want to learn the controls? Come on and wrestle these men down by the beach. But in all seriousness, go ahead, Jonathan.
No, it's just it's funny because
Hmm.
Kojima, he started I believe it not the his first game, or maybe one of his first games was Top Gun. So it's kind of fitting that there's a still some homoeroticism in some of the games that he makes. But no, I was cut you off. What were you?
No. I was gonna say, can you imagine like you hear like Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone as you're like using CQC on the men?
You know, I thought of like, well, this is the
Mm.
70s, but like it is interesting that, and maybe there are some references
Yeah.
in Kojima games to other of his work, but it is surprising like there is not not that I had looked or seen maybe like a Top Gun reference in one of his Metal Gear Solid games.
Probably to go back with like maybe like a Metal Gear Solid 2, you had the Harrier jet,
Yes,
a boss battle. Like, I could kind of see that.
sure.
Like that'd been a perfect time to like pay Kenny Loggins. Like you're riding, so it's like Danger Zone as you're like shooting like stinger missiles at it.
Mhm.
Was it stingers? Right, it was stingers. Trying to remember. Which I'll like be like reliving all these games because I'm kind of like doing all the whole game series with the Metal Gear D model
Yeah.
on the side. But we're here with my bro, and we're gonna bro it up like we always do. And I would say like let's take a listen to like the theme song for Peace Walker, and let's take a quick listen, and we'll go return. And like I said before, like like I said when we were listening to it, that's like the theme song like I really really like. Something about it, it's like because it's like kind of like a new beginning
It is.
for Big Boss.
Yeah.
He's kind of fighting that he's called Big Boss. He's
Mm-hmm.
kind of fighting the name still, but that is his title, even though it was given to him because he killed the boss,
Yeah.
and like it was like a dirty deal, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's like kind of like, well, we gave up our best person for you know, basically, so we don't go into like ultimate war with another superpower.
Yeah.
And in doing so, like, you know, Jack or John, however
Mm-hmm.
you want to say his name, realizes like how dirty politics is, and basically everything he's fought for and bled for his country kind of like stabbed him, not just in the back, but like took his eye.
Yeah.
And for a soldier, it's like you can't lose an eye. That's a vital organ to like for to survive
Yeah.
out there. And I think that's where it began, like his not hatred, but his disdain
Yeah.
for how things were going, and how he was just gonna be like, fuck this, I'm gonna create my own place.
Yeah. I didn't uh well, I mean, obviously I noticed that
Mhm.
with even with Peace Walker, and parts of three, and then the games that um, Ground Zero, games that follow after.
Yeah.
I did notice that, yeah, it was interesting to see that, or from going off of one and two, what little you know of Big Boss,
Mhm.
it is interesting that they sort of humanize him in these prequels, and
Yeah.
and it's like unexpected because I
Because
don't
yeah, go ahead.
no, it's just I didn't know, or like learning what direction Kojima is taking the franchise. Uh, as a fan, and at the time, one and two, it's interesting that you know, or it was like you're kind of taken back, like with three, like, oh, you're going backwards, and it's not like it's not been done before. With the prequel of Star Wars, and even just in literature, it's been done before.
Hmm.
It was just an interesting sort of like, not, you didn't see kind of curveball where like, oh, instead of keeping the narrative of Solid Snake and going further into the future, you're deciding to go backwards, and we're getting to learn about the Big Boss's story, and he's becoming less of mysterious, but at the same time, they're also making him a hero, and so I guess it's setting up uh, the arc, or the understanding why Big Boss becomes who he becomes.
Yeah, because like, but I would say like by the time we get to three,
Yeah,
we see like the beginning of Big Boss John,
yeah,
is kind of like his origin
yeah,
of becoming Big Boss. But before that, he's like such a mysterious character.
yes,
We hear all the legends, the greatest living soldier, um, a man who legions of armies under his command, um, becoming a superpower nation themselves when it's Zanzibar land. And we hear all the legends, and then we finally get to see them like get played out,
yeah,
and then going further into like Peace Walker, and then going into Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain.
yeah,
You kind of see like where those legends came from,
yeah,
because you're like, it's like almost like unfathomable. Like, how can this man do so much?
yes,
He's only one. Even he has men under his command, men and women,
yeah,
but how can he do all of this? How can one man attain so much like stature? Because he's pretty much like by the time you get to like Metal Gear Solid 4, he's like almost like a messiah complex, where it's like he's such like almost like an untouchable character. He's like almost like Christ-like.
yeah,
And it gets to the point where it's like you think he's dead, he's arisen again.
yeah,
You think he's like out in a coma, nope, he's back again.
yeah,
So it's like back from the brink of death on so many different times, so many occasions.
yeah,
And so like you see these games, you see like how they come to fruition.
mhm,
And with like Peace Walker, it was like it's kind of like going back to going back to like the old school like spy
Yes,
ways.
yes,
It's I would say it's like just like three,
yeah.
close to Bond, right?
Yeah, I was saying like the music as because we were just listening to it.
Hmm.
I think this kind of it kind of goes into that more Bay Area, although I'd probably say that this is probably like a better structured story than a Michael Bay film.
Mm.
But the music seems to have like that theme rather than how in three it was kind of very much an homage to James Bond.
Yeah.
This keeps up with that with the theme of spy thriller, espionage, even though the music's a little different. And also, it's kind of like with Peace Walker. It's very much like how it just begins, like with from what I saw with Big Boss coming in on the bike. It
Mm.
very feels very much a continuation of three. Like you just jump right in after part three. Um, yeah,
Yeah, because it's like instead of like his version of like the boss like had a horse,
yes,
so it's like a more modern Western.
yeah.
So like for Big Boss, instead of having a horse, it's a motorcycle. And I think it's like those Triumph motorcycles, like those really like back in the day, like
Oh,
if you get it now, it's like super expensive
yeah, I was
bike.
going to ask you, is that,
Hmm.
I remember seeing him on the bike. Is that Eva's bike that he's on?
No, I think it's like similar.
Okay.
I think because like I'm pretty sure like she'll never. She even says it. She's like, there's only like I think like two things that would get her off her bike if she's. One thing was like if she's in love, and the other thing was like or if she's dead.
Okay.
So it's like either you're in love or you're dead. That's the only
Okay.
way you get her off her bike.
Okay.
And it's always like with dinners, like that's like her ultimate weapon,
Yeah.
other than her femininity and sexual prowess.
Because I know, he does,
Hmm.
Big Boss does take the, the original boss's horse, is returns in this game, correct?
I think it does.
Yeah.
Um,
That's her horse.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it does, yes.
So
Which we kind of like probably wonder like whatever happened to that horse? Because it kind of like went away
I yeah,
in the third one.
it's like a little side note. I thought it was cool
Hmm.
that the horse returns, but at the same time, I felt like kind of bad for like, why are you bringing this horse? Like, why didn't you let this horse retire? Like, how many missions have this horse been on?
Yeah, it's like this horse is like the solid snake.
Yeah, so like,
It keeps coming back from retirement. They keep pulling you the horse back.
it's
The
like,
horse is just like in a mission briefing room all naked on the table. And it's like, listen, horse, we brought you back. And what do you think he's gonna say? "Wee, wee."
no, but I just kind of felt like that. Like, let
Mhm.
this horse retire.
And then we get like, I mean, going further down, we get like that sad note about the horse. But like
Yes,
before Red Dead Redemption 2 did that, we got
that's right.
we got in here. And you know what? It's a shame because probably because this game was on PSP originally,
Yeah,
it probably didn't get like the attention and the looks it should have.
no,
If it was on the PS3 and if it was like, hey, this is gonna be like a PS3, it's a little down than other PS3 games, is because like there's so much content
yeah,
in the game. Because it's a full-fledged Metal Gear Solid game. It's not shrunk down for anything else. It's a big, it's a big hunk of game right here
it's
for a small system,
yeah, it's a big okay, but you can also tell that
graphics wise.
graphics wise, it's more adapted for portable.
Yeah,
Um, which I like. Like I'll say that
it was cool as hell.
it's cool as hell. I was gonna say that I think besides maybe two, this is probably my favorite best. I think the best looking game. Just
Yeah,
with the comic book like cutscenes. I really
yeah.
liked with and it's very uh kind of Sin City-esque with black and white and some color added. Um and I really like that aspect put into the game. And obviously the comic book, sort of art style is added in. It's a way to show off what this PSP at the time, which was new, this new device can what it can show you, the graphics it can show you. But at the same time, it's also you could tell by like the gameplay,
Mm,
it's a little it feels very not kind of first person shooter a little bit, and I'm saying like it's just very the where the game, or sort of like where the game wants you to look, and just looking, you're kind of like over over boss's shoulder when he's shooting and things like that,
yeah.
moving around. You can tell it's not as detailed as like a big console game. uh, but looks wise, I did really, I think this is probably like, yeah, after two, this is probably my second favorite, visually, second favorite game in the Metal Gear series.
Yeah, because then that was the whole point of this game, is that like they wanted you to like take it with you, like make it portable.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, this is a Metal Gear Solid game that you could take it on the go, and also the missions are catered that way too.
yes,
It's like a lot of the missions, they're not that long,
yeah,
and you can save right after immediately. Like once you get through the tutorial, like which I was like, where do I save? As soon as I started the game, I was like, I need to know because, you know, I can't like drop everything and like play endlessly for hours on end.
yeah,
It's like I gotta like plan my playtime. It's like that's speaking from being a dad with a little one. So it's
yeah,
like, back in the day, I used to just like, once midnight hits, I'm playing the game and I'm not stopping until like the sun comes out
yeah.
basically. But now like sleep has become very precious.
Mhm.
I gotta like figure out like, I gotta like make time to play these games and like times that like I can. But yeah, for this game it's like I want to say like for Metal Gear Solid 3, it was very like those Terrence Young
Yes,
Bond films. So
yeah,
it's like the old school espionage, um, the background and the I don't want to say landscape, but like the basically every set piece where Bond was is like visually appealing.
yes,
It's like it's basically showing you the world when you either don't have like the luxury of doing so
yeah,
or don't know, like
yeah,
like Hollywood version
yeah,
of the time, which is like very nice.
mhm,
And for this one, it's like we're down to the grittiness. We're going to the gritty part.
yeah,
Because it's also like with every you know Kojima game, there's also politics involved,
yeah,
showing you the global politics, what's happening in this part of the world. And for this one, we're in Costa Rica, and it's like, hey, don't worry about if they're like usually people think like two things about Costa Rica. It's like one's coffee, and the other one's like usually drugs
yeah,
or war or guns.
yeah.
I just rambled off like four things, but usually
Mhm.
there's two things pop in my head: drugs and coffee. And usually you can like use coffee to hide drugs,
It's true.
or at least that's what I've seen in the movies.
Yeah.
I don't know any actually drug lords to like interview and be like, "Hello, Mr. Drug Lord. How do you smuggle your drugs out of the country?" They'd probably be like, "You'll never leave this compound now, Mr. America." I'm like, "Oh crap."
Like, how'd you
I'm like live from
like, how'd
South America.
you get this number?
Metal Gear Resurrection is coming for you from a compound. I can never leave, but my podcast still goes on. That will be my future. Um, but for this game, it was also like I've gotten so used to like the control schemes with each game. So like with every time a new sequel pops up, I have to learn a whole new control scheme. Sometimes it can be pretty daunting. Like going from like two to three, I was completely lost in three. I was like, holy crap, like how do I like fight these people? Like I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I'm like making people like drop down or slam down. And with this one, it's kind of like they basically like it was like the beginning stages for V and that control scheme. It was kind of like we're testing out these new control. new controls just so we get it just right for the next game, which probably was on everyone's mind. Like you can always say, usually it's like with everyone that makes like a game series, it's like as soon as like you're near the end of the finish line, you're on to the next game.
Yeah.
It's like you're already thinking about it,
Mhm.
whether it's like story or what console it's going to be on or what's the control scheme's going to be like. It's like you're always thinking about the next one, and I'm pretty sure like with Kojima, it's like he's thinking about the next one as he's working on the current one.
Yeah.
And for this one, it wasn't too bad. Like I didn't get like super lost with the control schemes, but I can see the point where it's like you like say you're saying like, oh, it's definitely, you can tell like it's for the PSP
Yeah.
graphics wise, which yeah, it is. And even if like with like the HD collection, it's like a little polished, a little more, a little bit, a little nicer, but you can still tell it was meant for the PSP,
Yeah.
and I think it's just like it's like one of those things where it's like you jump ahead too fast
Maybe.
of the time,
Yeah.
because like I always say like when it comes to portable games, like Nintendo always like I want to say like they like own it all, like because like other people have done portables and they're pretty good, like but they'll take their time with it to like know what to put out there, and I feel like Sony was like so keen on like we got to get out there with our own portable device. Like, hey, how about the power of a PlayStation 2 in your hands?
True. Yeah. I mean, maybe
Mm.
Sony jumped the gun, but at the same time, like Nintendo had a well, like at that point, this is in 2000s. Game Boy had been out since the 80s. Tw- Nintendo had 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't of course they mastered and been successful at that point. But at the same time, uh, yeah, and at this time, when the PSP was out, uh, it, PSP, uh, the PS2, and Nintendo, going from N64 to GameCube, it was kind of a back and forth between the two, like a sort of like, and that kind of, well, I guess maybe not outdoing of each other, but like seeing who can catch up, and let's see, like, because at that point,
Mm.
because Nintendo went from um, N64 to GameCube, and GameCube is and wasn't it originally going to be called Nintendo Revolution, or
Yeah, it was something else, some other name other than GameCube.
it was, yeah. So they were, it was kind of like a war and between the two, and seeing who would come ahead, uh, and was successful for both of them, and they're still, um, I mean, from that success, they're still going on strong, both of them. Um, but yeah, you couldn't, as far as getting Metal Gear being sort of like the face of uh, Sony's revolution against Nintendo. Um, you couldn't blame them for wanting to getting a jump start and
Mm.
wanting to be in the game with Nintendo in that sense. But at the same time, Sony had their own success with the PlayStation, um, and so it was kind of like a war between the two. Both nervous of, I don't, well, I gotta assume both are nervous of like, well, who's going to come out of
Mm.
this, this successor, and both are still successful, and it's kind of like in recent years, it's kind of less of a war and more of just like, uh, just both of them just still trying to, uh, yeah,
Like maintain supremacy.
maintain supremacy, but at the same time also just creating new content. It became less, now it's less of a war and more just keeping success, but not sort of, they're kind of less concerned about what each other is doing. They're more concerned about, well, what's the best, uh, you know, content we can create? What's the next
Mm.
accessible uh, entertainment we can create for, and keep the business alive? It's less of a war competition now.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like don't tell that to them like gaming bros.
No.
who thinks that it's like, you know what? They're like the equivalent of like Big Boss's like um grand image for like war without end.
Yeah.
It's like they want to continue like, no, it's a war. It's like we're Sony and we got these games. We got God of War and blah blah blah, and they're like, suck it, everyone else, you can't play these games. And then when they hear like, oh, Kojima's making a Microsoft game, they're like, ban that man. He must never make a game for us ever again or for anyone. And I'm like, you guys are just like a bunch of crazed sycophants. And I'm like, I want to get away from you guys immediately. Mute, 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 mute. Because it's like, I always hated like console wars.
Yes.
It was so stupid to me. Like, always, even as
Yeah.
an adult, looking back, like, oh, that was dumb.
Yeah, but I mean, it created a lot of great entertainment at the time.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do understand like the sort of I don't like the mentality of like, oh, you got to choose one. In reality, you don't really. You can
Yeah,
enjoy both.
where it's like, you choose one, like, gun to the head. Choose this console, God damn it. Which one you want?
But at the same time, it was a war, and that you know, price of the consoles, like you had to choose.
Mhm.
Nintendo was, more affordable, and that was on purpose so that they can get, and more sales and more eyes on the product. Um, Now I'm not even sure.
Yeah, because
If, if
I was
they,
gonna say like back in the day, yeah, they like they would like undercut like the pricing, but like the game itself was like regular price, still expensive.
yeah, that's true. The console was cheaper, but the games were just the same price that you would have to pay for a Sony PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah, they're like around like I think they're like $50 was like the highest price.
Yeah,
And if it was like a special edition or like some kind of collector's edition, it'd probably go up to like $80, maybe even like 100.
mm-hmm.
Nowadays it's like, oh, you want like the ultimate edition super deluxe package? $130, please. And I go, excuse me? What did you say? They're like, yeah, you want the super editions deluxe we got everything in this package, but you can't really like, you know, even some games where it's like you can't finish the game without buying this. I'm like, well, why did I buy the game? Like I bought the game to finish it. And they're like, no, you can't actually finish it. It's like we have this one ending, but if you buy this, you get that next ending. And I'm like, well, I hate that. Like that's horrible. I bought a game already and you want me to pay more for it. But yeah, I mean for this game, for Peace Walker, um yeah, like I say, like it's going back to like the espionage days. It's like, we have all these like also like the introduction of cause,
Yes,
real cause, not like liquid cause.
no,
Because
yeah,
I think that's as far as like as people like in the West got, because he does appear in Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, but we never got that game until like the re-releases or the Subsistence collection
yes,
for like Metal Gear Solid 3, or was it Substance? I'm probably getting it wrong, and I always tell people like, hey, you can at me all you want, because if I get it wrong, please correct me.
yes, yeah, of course,
But for me, it's HD collection on the
yeah,
PS3,
yeah.
where it's like, hey, look at these games, the original, and then like we got, you know, Kazuhiro Miller,
Mm-hmm.
in two, but we only got him like we got a liquid version in
Yes,
one, where it's like, hey, like, I mean, we already like from the background of like Peace Walker, we hear that like he's half Japanese,
okay, yeah, I was gonna say,
and we're supposed to like. I mean, he does have like a very like I don't hear an accent when he talks.
no, he I was gonna say he very much looks like Iceman, like Val Kilmer's Iceman from
Oh,
Top
I
Gun.
think that's what he's going for.
Yeah,
That's probably the Top Gun
he
connection,
has that look.
because he's got this like I don't say slick back hair, but like,
It's like
is it like gelled?
it's kind of like a
It's definitely
guy with like
combed.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
combed up and he has
it's
like a
combed up,
uh,
and he's got the sunglasses,
yes,
and I think he's got like his uniform like sleeves are rolled up,
yes,
and he's always like putting his arms crossed.
yeah,
It's like yeah, you're right. Now you just said that, like it definitely reminds me of Val Kilmer,
yes.
and that's probably where the Top Gun connection comes from. It's like,
Mhm.
like, hey, we're gonna like finally put, Kazuhiro Miller into a game. What should he look like? And then he probably said like Iceman. And they're like, good job, boss. Right on the money again. Um, but I mean, we finally get to hear him
Yes.
in his actual
Mhm.
um what he's supposed to sound like,
Mhm.
which it gets even better when you go into the next one, when you go into five.
Yes.
5V, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
Ground Zeroes, Fan of Pain, I don't care. It is the next title in the series.
Mhm.
We kind of hear him, and it's like, yeah, very like not soft spoken,
No.
but you could definitely the character could like flip a switch, and you
Yes.
would hear him like freak out and like yell,
Yes.
but very like well mannered and that's like maybe mild mannered.
Yeah.
Um, and then like in Metal Gear Solid One, it's like if you go back and forth, you could be like, oh yeah, that's definitely not him. It's like we should have like, I mean, you as a player don't know.
Yeah.
That was the whole like, like, oh my god, shocking.
Yeah.
Like you were like the enemy the whole time, and
Yeah.
now you've killed my mentor slash master.
Yeah.
And for this one, it's like we see the beginnings of
Yes.
that,
Mhm.
where it's like, basically like not only training but mentoring the soldiers
Mhm.
and MSF, because we have MSF. That's the beginning of it. Before we got like everything else, like before we got the Zanzibar Land soldiers or the Outer Heaven soldiers, the
Mhm.
Diamond Dogs,
Yes.
which I always love Diamond Dogs because the whole like Bowie thing,
Yeah.
Bowie connection there is like, and it's also like cool, like Diamond Dogs.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's a real cool name for like an outfit for mercs and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But if this one's MSF, which I love, like I don't know if like when they did this, maybe it was like the whole entire time, but they had to give you a disclaimer
Yeah.
that they are not associated with Doctors Without Borders. I go like, but of course, like
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't expect to go see Doctors Without Borders
Yeah.
and then see like all these doctors have like masks over their faces and they have weaponry and they're like doing like CQC by the beach. It's like, is this what Doctors Without Borders do? But like yeah, Militaires Sans Frontières.
Mhm.
I don't really do languages very well. Like I try to like sound it out as best I could,
Mhm.
but like seeing him and I guess what is like maybe this game feels like a little like what was that missing thing, right?
Yes.
It felt there's usually like you go back to these games you're like there was something missing. Like I wish it would like this would have happened or that would happen or this would have introduced.
Mhm.
I think the only thing missing was like Ocelot really.
I was.
And I was
Yeah.
like wondering like if you ever like want to patch these things, all you gotta do is like just do like you don't even have to have them like in the game. How about a tape? Because that was like the beautiful part about this part. It
Yeah.
was like remember like we hear like a prototype and it's called a Walkman.
Yes.
And I go like, wait a minute.
That that was. I like that. It was like
Yeah.
kind of like cool, kind of like not shout out Sony technology that you have like the first
Hmm.
you're seeing the well not the first but like you're seeing the first successful portable Walkman used by the military. So it was a little and it was kind of like a little meta sort of thing because you have like this you have the Walkman technology and you're playing this game and a new portable device running
Yeah.
on PSP. So it's kind of a little meta thing going on there. That was a really cool thing to be included into the game.
Oh, you were gonna say something?
No, no, no. Just that it was like a cool little like nod
Oh, right.
for like it's kind of like it's it's kind of masturbatory because Sony is like showing like oh look how far we've come, but at the same
Oh
time,
yeah. That's like
it was
yeah.
I liked it. I liked the little nod to the past.
And like the only like as soon as the game starts, it's like we're going into like that weird part, that weird like not weird part, but like the whole we're kind of bordering on pervo mode here.
Yeah.
As soon as he sees like pause,
Yes.
it's like I think if you hit like I don't think it's a quick time event, but I think if you like I'm trying to remember like because I forgot.
Yeah.
I think it's like either like L1 or R1, like maybe when Snake like looks at people.
Yes.
in those cutscenes, and I didn't think it was gonna happen like with the Ashley Wood, like drawn cutscenes we have here.
Yeah.
He sees like through Paz's clothes to see her
Oh,
like in a bikini,
oh, that's right. Yes.
and I'm like, ew. It's like, is that like Big Boss's like superpower? Like he can see like women through their clothes?
No, it's keeping up with the sort of the and with how um, Big Boss is with women, kind of like
Yeah,
Bond-esque, suave, spy. So it's keeping up with that sort of being character. So yeah,
I feel like with him though, um, it's very like Sean Connery-ish,
yes,
where it's like these women are property, and I'll do what I want with them.
kind of, yeah, I think
Even to
so.
the point where like I think he actually does hit them.
Um,
I'm trying to remember. I mean, it's inevitable to fight the boss. You have to actually fight her.
yeah,
That's doesn't count really, 'cause that's like a boss battle. I mean, he is that is a woman, and he is hitting her, but it's also a fight.
yeah, I don't know, because I mean, obviously with
Mm,
three and here you see from soldiers and some characters that there's still, especially because of the times in the 70s, there's still misogyny and um, I don't know so much from Big Boss, but for me, like Big Boss is obviously three was like I thought like the horniest of the games.
oh God.
So he is sort of like still kind of like that. But for me, like as far as like being violent, um, I think he's almost like how like Batman and in the animated series, like he'll fight women like if
Hmm.
he has to,
Oh yeah, that's what I was
if
going for.
if
Yeah.
he's threatened, like it's an adversary, he has to do that, he will. I sort of feel like Big Boss is in that way. Like it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, if you're against him, he'll fight
Okay, so I retract that. Definitely not like Sean Connery.
you.
Uh, my apologies, boss. Big boss.
Well, I don't know because like
Hmm.
in these games so far, I or maybe that's how it's designed. You're sort of like I feel like the bosses. You sort of see like that he's capable of caring or relating to people,
Hmm.
relating to people's situations. They're in dire straits. So, um, but that's sort of like so sort of the big boss we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Eventually, who knows? But oh
Yeah.
well.
And I'll
But
just say like, and then we get like introduced like all these characters. Like, I mean, probably people think they're like very short lived,
yes,
but I think it's because like you know what it is. Sometimes I don't like tell people like you have to play these games, like you gotta play these games in this order, or like you have to play all the games. Like I'm not like that.
yeah,
It's like when it comes to this series, you could pick any game in the series, and if it gets you interested into like the rest of the games,
mhm,
and if you don't want to play them, you don't have to. You can always watch like videos of them,
yeah,
because I know like a lot of people don't have the time to like
yes,
sit down and play these games, or
mhm,
maybe they don't have the resources to pay.
yes,
Yeah, like some of these consoles, it's like it's pretty pricey. It's like people gotta live, people gotta pay their bills and put food on their table.
absolutely.
But for this game, I think because what it is like this was like a PSP game. It's been like like oh it's a portable game. Um, I don't want to say people forget, but I think they don't have like I want to say like not knowledge, but not maybe experience
Mm-hmm.
with these characters,
Yeah.
especially Chico.
Oh, Chico.
Yeah, who I just feel for
Oh,
because
absolutely.
he like that poor little guy gets his heart like played like so many times.
Absolutely. And especially with this game
Mm.
and when the series, as the series continues. Um, yeah, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I was saying like for Chico.
Yes.
I kind of wish like it didn't happen how it went down for him at the
Um,
end. I kind of wish like he kept going.
well, well, because as I was looking through because being now
Mm,
that I'm looking through the games and revisiting games and discovering things in the series, um, like I looked at like the cutscenes
hmm
for some of the next games, and where Chico or what they planned or what they have in mind for Chico as what he becomes.
Yeah,
Um, and I thought that's interesting. It's almost like
it would have been like anti-Robin.
it's very Red Hood.
Yeah.
It's very Red Hood. It looks
Well,
very
you could probably think it's like it's very like what was Bruce Wayne's like actual son? Damien?
oh, Damien, yes,
Damien Drake?
yes, yes.
Is it Damien Drake? Damien Wayne. Sorry.
Damian Wayne
But he thinks his father's last name.
thinks his father he would be he would probably
He's not a Al
he's not
Ghul.
Al Ghul. He would be Damien Al Ghul, but
Yeah, I think it's Damian Wayne. I don't know where I
yes,
got Drake from.
yeah,
That's weird. It would be very like that, like where it's like he's been, like yeah, but you're saying like it's more like it's like Red Hood, where it's like you had this good guy,
yes,
and then due to like these circumstances, becomes a bad guy.
yeah. Basically, because of war,
Hmm
um, what war turns him into, and basically that's what we're seeing throughout all these characters.
Yeah,
Um, but at the same time, I know like yeah, you kind of want these characters. Um, well, some you grow attached to, and you want to see them go on, and you want to see what happens with them. But at the same time, I do like that it for me like if this feels like a continuation of three, but also feel like a side mission where
mm,
it's not
mm,
that's not important, but it's just like a little pocket, a little gap in this story of what Kojima is trying to get to. Um, so I didn't mind so much that some characters didn't continue on.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah. Some characters like continued on like off screen,
Yes.
which I actually liked. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, good. Like we actually hear what happened, especially to like Amanda.
Yes.
It's like I was kind of like worried, like, oh, I don't see her.
Yes.
Like she's not amongst the survivors.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh no, she's gone off to like basically continue her legacy.
Yeah.
Continue the battle, continue the fight. Because like after Peace Walker, we kind of like leave South America. We kind of like leave that area and we go to like two different other like regions of the world.
Yes.
We're both like history of war and oppression and corruption as well.
Mhm.
And for Amanda, it's like I actually did enjoy that.
Yes.
I liked her character.
Mhm.
I like what basically like daughter of like a I'm gonna say like rebel leader, right?
Yeah.
But she has to continue
Yeah.
after losing her family. So it's like I enjoyed her character,
Mhm.
and I enjoyed the fact that her character continues to live on.
Yes.
It's like you don't have to tell me anything else. Like it was very quick and very like short.
Yeah.
Um, like like catching up on all these characters when you get to like five or V, and it's like that I liked because what I don't like is what you do to people off screen.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like what I'm trying to say is like I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say is like what I don't like is like when you kill people off screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I hate that. I
Yeah.
hate when they do it in movies or like comic books or anything like that. It's like you don't see what happens because you know what it is. You play these games and you become like so invested in these characters in this world
Yeah.
where it's like you want to know what happens to the people that you after you left.
Yeah. It,
I've always been like
I
that. I may be
understand.
weird.
So I understand that with some movies and
Mm,
like some characters, like for me, it
yeah,
just popped in my head, but like with the Predator series, you never see what happens with Dutch in the next films. They
yeah.
have like little hints here and there, but
They always talk about
I
them.
understand that there are fans out there that were like, well, where's Dutch? What's he up to? But at the same time, I'm like, all with the Predator series is so, um, I mean, it's all over the place, but not in the sense like how Terminator is all over the place.
Oh God.
where like the timeline's over the place.
Mm.
Predator's all over the place, and that it goes to different places and to different storylines, which I kind of appreciate. You know, you can think of whatever like what films you like or what films you don't like in that series, but at least it goes to different
Sorry.
places. I kind of appreciate that. Um, but like as you were saying with Ocelot,
Hmm.
I kind of like that you don't that he's not in here. Like for me, like I do like his character. He's
Hmm.
not my favorite. I do like him at times. Obviously, I like his look and his his sort of like Western inspired character. Um, but for me, like I didn't miss him.
Hmm.
Like it's like for me, it's kind of like refreshing. It was like, oh, he's not in this. Okay, like he doesn't have to be like. Although him and him and him and this like the Snake family, like he always liked like a blood feud with them.
Yeah,
But it
it's
was
like
like
it's you go ahead, sorry.
no, I was saying like for me, it was okay that he wasn't in this one. Like he's in. I'm sure he's in other games in the series.
Yeah, I think he's like in all of them except for like Peace Walker
Yeah,
and I think Porta Bops?
yeah.
I'm not sure because I haven't played Porta Bops to tell you the truth.
I mean, I
I have
guess
to like look into
yeah.
that.
I was thinking like, well, where would you put him into the story? But at the same time, like in this one, and that was another thing I was gonna say is that
Hmm.
I like. It's like this is kind of like the opposite of the previous games for Big Boss and even for Solid Snake, in that he actually has a team. He's not by himself or just like
Yeah.
one person. He actually has a team with him, um, which was it was kind of like a different sort of angle to see that this guy is coming in with actual team. He's not on his own going into this country and on this mission. Um,
Which is great because it's like I think it gets to a point where it's like you kind of tired, you get tired of being alone.
yes,
Where it's like, all right, now you're like doing like what everyone says you've done, and that's like leading men into the battlefield.
yeah, it's a, it's and it's also against like sort of like expectations where you see like Solid Snake is on his own, and you
Yeah.
sort of expect, well, I guess his father would be the same. It's like no, he has a team, and you understand why. Besides just being assigned, just like in military, just being assigned to a mission and to a team, he actually grows a team out of
Hmm.
just meeting people and doing favors and doing right by them. And that's another thing adding to this sort of like kind of like this. It's almost like they're building this goodwill of Big Boss. Like you're
Hmm.
saying, like, oh, he's a good guy, and you understand why people follow him and gain favor with him, just because he very much is very sympathizes with the people he comes across, especially fellow, well, not maybe not fellow countrymen, but sort of soldiers, even though they're from different backgrounds and they're in different situations. He very sympathizes and relates to fellow soldiers and does his best to help them out in any way he can, and and helping them out with like freedom. Um, yeah,
Yeah, and that's how he gains like goodwill like throughout the series, and
yes,
like that's why like people like put him up in such a pedestal.
mm-hmm.
It's because like he, I mean, not only like is he like people you come across or like people you recruit by
Yeah,
like faltering them,
yeah,
um, and then you like they always like that's like the good part, but like on Metal Gear Solid 5, the
mm-hmm.
Phantom Pain,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of hear like soldiers' conversations,
Yes,
and it's like they're always going like, "Oh, it's a good thing I'm here because the last place I was at kind of sucked," and they're like, "Yeah, that's a good thing about being a diamond dog, like and the boss." It's like he doesn't care where you're from. It's like we're all in it together. It's like we're no nation. It's like we're not governed by any government. Like we're here for soldiers,
yeah,
and that's like the best recruitment you could have because then like word gets out.
yeah,
It's like this is whole like separate nation where it's like this one man like looks after his soldiers, doesn't like treat them like cannon fodder, even though he does. He
yeah,
will use them to like to and to basically he'll use for his to his means and to ends to his means. I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
it is. It is like a funny direction Kojima takes, in that
Hmm.
it kind of explains like the scope of one and two of like the the Sons of Liberty, like the
Hmm.
scope of like their team. Like you understand why there's like all these soldiers
Yeah.
on his team. It's kind of like a weird way of going back and explaining, well, why are people following Big Boss this whole time? Like, like, is it really worth it? Like getting, killed by Solid Snake in the dark.
Oh yeah.
So it is like kind of like a funny way to explain like why this guy has gained followers and soldiers.
You know, I kind of wish for like Big Boss. Like we always seen like we always see like what happens to him.
Yes.
What I wish they would like kind of shown, but I know that it's over now. It's like you can't really go back. But like the one thing that you kind of wished, I remember like in four where like he like basically the events of what like Liquid Ocelot basically inflicts onto their system helps Big Boss awaken because he was kind of like kept alive and like kept like probably like in a induced coma state
Yeah.
basically for what the Patriots were using him
Okay.
for was like for like the SOP system for like the war without end. I kind of wish like showing him like waking up
Mm-hmm.
and like whoever's like guarding him and all of a sudden like he'll just do like the Michael Caine Austin Powers
Yeah.
Golden River thing.
Yeah.
He's like you know how many men like anonymous soldiers I've killed over the years. It's like just do yourself a favor and lay down. Like look at you. You don't even have a name tag. You have no chance. Or like he'll just wake up and be like Judo chop, Judo chop. And then the third guy, that's what he yells at. He yells at him. He's like, "You don't have a name tag. It's like just do yourself a favor and lay down. I'm Big Boss." But it's like I can only imagine. It's like you've been kind of like tucked away
Yeah.
because like all the way up to this point, like everybody thought he was dead. Even in four, they show like, oh, he's like being kept alive. He's kind of like missing like body parts and like parts of his like I think skin too, and like Ocelot just like cooks him like popcorn. And you kind of like you're like, well, what would you have thought of that future?
Yeah.
Because like by the time you get to the ending of that game, it's like it sounds like he's full of a lot of regret
Yeah.
for what he's done, and all because him and his old commanding officer didn't agree upon what was the boss's will.
Yeah.
Joy, what was her will?
I mean, like, uh, through this game and
Mm.
all the games, really, it's like Kojima's really set on showing like the price to pay for being a
Yeah,
revolutionary
yeah,
or wanting to start a revolution. Like, and you don't feel it so much for for two, like Ocelot and Liquid. Like you don't really like they're revolutionaries, and in the end, you know, Solid Snake stops them, and you really don't care. Like, well, yeah, you stop them, they're the bad guys.
yeah.
But in this one, and in the next games, you sort of see, well, the opposite side of that are people who want to start a revolution for freedom, freedom
Mm.
for their country, for their people, and you sort of see like the consequences they have for being revolutionaries, and it's very sad what happens to these characters, and Big Boss included. Um, so it's an interesting theme
Hmm.
that Kojima plays with that I'm enjoying watching the series so far.
Yeah, and it always reminds me of like that basically that dialogue from like Inception where it's like um Ken Watanabe's character.
Yes,
It's like he's trying to like I want to say like what's his name is like stuck into like his levels.
yes,
They're trying to pull him out,
mm-hmm.
and it's like you got that line where it's like you don't want to be in. I'm probably butchering the hell out of it, but it's the line basically where it's like you don't want to be an old man full of regrets.
Yes,
And that's like I feel like what happened with Big Boss at the end. It's like the regret was like what he did. like that consistent, like never-ending war
Mm.
truly wasn't worth it. Because you see, like what happens, like the what do you call it, the end game of it all. It's like, yeah, this constant war where like nobody knows who they're fighting and why they're fighting,
Yeah.
and it's like that is like the most saddest thing you could think of. Like you have all these people fighting each other for no reason whatsoever,
Yeah.
and it's like, I mean, I am against like I'm the type of person that's like very much like against like war when it's like really called for.
Hmm.
It's like you really have to like to intervene. It has to be for like the most like basically to save human lives, I would say.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
would think like that should be the only reason for war.
I
I
mean,
know it's like everyone's gonna be like, yeah, fuck you. We go for war for money. We go for war for like oil. I'm like, yeah, we could always do that, but like that's just like sadly we're using human beings
yeah.
for rich men.
War is war's become a business.
It has,
It's
and that's the
it's
saddest part. And that's also
profitable.
like also what shows you in Peace Walker.
Yeah.
And that's what Kaz does.
Yeah.
Like this, like, hey, we're building this group, building this outfit. We got a base. It's like let's make some cash on the side for our business.
Yeah.
And it's like as a probably like if you're a gamer, you're not really paying attention to that.
No.
But like I've always like looked at it and go like, yeah, like we're steering down a path you don't return from. Once you start like taking money for war, that's a sliding scale, right? That's a sliding, not sliding scale, but a sliding slope. Is that the saying?
Yeah.
So you just go down, you're just sliding down to like basically you're just like a warlord.
Yes. Yeah. It's an interesting. Like now, looking at these games, maybe it helps that
Mm,
I'm more watching them as films rather than uh, previously when I started. It was just as a kid, playing the games. It's and you're watching them now. You sort of you're not sort of getting lost in the gameplay or trying to accomplish a mission, and you sort of see the themes throughout these games that Kojima's is playing with. Obviously, the cost of war,
mm-hmm,
and but also he also has the sort of philosophical side to him in these games, where he brings up these questions about life and sort of and happiness, um, trying to attain that before it's all said and done. Uh, yeah, it's interesting. It's been an interesting watch and looking good in these games.
and I would say like this is probably lead up to our next song. We're gonna listen to Heaven's Divide real quick. Take a listen to that, and then we'll be right back.
Paddles of white cover fields flowing in grieving tears, and all the hearts once new, old and shattered now. Love can kill, love will die. Give me wings to fly, fleeing this world so cold. I just wonder why. Cold as a dog, now my words are frosted with every breath. Still the hate burns wild, growing inside this heart. When the wind changes course, when the stars align, I will reach out to you and leave this all behind. When heavens divide. the choices within my hands. How can we ever protect and fight with our tiny souls? Let me shine like the sun through the doubts and fear. Do you feel the storm approach as the end draws near? When heavens divide, time will come to softly lay me down. Then I can see a face that I long to see. And for you, only you, I would give anything, leaving a trace for love to find a way. When heavens divide. I will dive into the fire, spilling the blood of my desire. The very last time, my name scorched into the sky. When heavens divide, I will see the choices within my hands. How can we ever protect and fight with our tiny souls? Let me shine like the sun through the doubts and fear. Do you feel the storm approach as the end draws near? When heavens divide, time will come to softly lay me down. Then I can see a face that I long to see. And for you, only you, I would give anything, leaving a trace for love to find the way. When heavens divide. And for you, only you, I would give anything, leaving a trace for love to find a way. When heavens divide.
Okay, and we're back. All right, and so that was Heaven's Divide by Donna Burke. And I would say like she's like the way she sings these songs is like such a treat. Um, especially with some of these songs, because some of these songs like very like they feel like from like they could be like in a Bond film.
Yes.
And with her, it's like oh my god, like it's great.
Well,
It's great the way like it's you can feel the emotions
mhm.
in it, feel the emotions in the songs, and not to mention like she's I want to say like she's also like in the game as well for Phantom Pain. Like she is the voice of the iDroid,
Okay.
and so it's like she's always with you like she's like always with you on the go as you're playing Venom Snake or Punish Snake. I never got the names right. Like I feel like they always switch it back and forth. But yeah, it's like she's always like updating what's going on the map. What's like map's been updated or like she'll tell you like what's going on with the weather or like when you're returning to Mother Base.
Yeah.
And I just like it's like I feel like there's a great appreciation
Oh, absolutely.
for her like vocals for the series.
Well, yeah, I mean, just, not just contributing to creating like the mood
Mm-hmm.
of these games, but then Kojima puts her into the game. It's very much like a family sort of dynamic. It's almost like how Paul Bettany started, in the Marvel movies in Iron Man, just as Jarvis, and then he becomes Vision. You very
Yeah.
it's like you're very much keeping in within family. You sort of show like the appreciation of the talent that you've acquired over the years, and so much so that they become part of bigger parts of the story. Very cool.
And then like with this song, we're introduced like to newer characters into the series. Um, and we go down a path of like Kojima was like, oh, like this is like very Bondish, and for this game, it's very like we're going to the like Stanley Kubrick
Yes.
avenue, basically, or I was gonna say alley, but like avenue.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like dead on, like boom.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, it's not like I don't. How do I say this?
Hmm.
Um, it's very on the nose, like Strange Love.
Yeah, he got Doctor Strangelove, but
Yeah,
it's like,
Doctor
wait a
Strangelove.
minute,
Although she's a woman and
and she's not in a wheelchair.
she's not in a wheelchair. Um, it's on the nose. It's very interesting what he does with the character. She's
Hmm.
It's interesting that and I don't know what you know. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but her name is Strangelove. She happens to be a lesbian. It's interesting, sort of uh, character,
Hmm.
I guess. Interesting. Um,
Do they say canonically she's a lesbian? I thought she was bisexual.
oh, that I'm not sure because
Because
this was
I know she like
my
has a child with
yes.
Huey, who's like the worst son bitch out there. Like if you ever see him in the street, you gun that motherfucker down because he's like horrible, and I don't care what anyone says.
No, or she's no,
Hmm.
I've done it because this is my introduction to it.
Oh, right.
So I very much thought that
Or
she
maybe
was,
I think we're to assume,
yes,
like, well, like all the men, they assume, you know, like, oh, she's just a lesbian because
yeah,
she has interest in women.
yeah,
And I think like for like the time,
yeah,
it's like, okay, we're gonna use the time of the game to be like very Frankenstein behavior towards her. Like, oh, she likes women, that's weird. And
sure, yeah,
it's like, well, she's also like highly intelligent and
absolutely,
I'm pretty sure she doesn't give a fuck what you think.
no,
Exactly. And the only part I don't like is that like because of pause and they don't really tell you how old she is until like later on,
yeah,
we're all to assume that she's just like this very young teenage girl.
yes,
I would say underage.
yeah,
I think I don't know the exact number. She's supposed to be like maybe she's supposed to be like 16 or something like that.
yeah,
Very young. And they do like the thing where it's like which I kind of hated that they did this, where it's like, oh, Strangelove is like showing, attention to Amanda. And it's like, okay. And then it's like, oh, now she's showing attention to Paz. So I'm like, okay, like,
sort of like
what are you trying to say here?
kind of
It's like she's not a pervert. Like,
not a
don't put that
pervert,
stigma on her.
yeah, that's
Because I feel like that's like such an old stigma. Like they used to like put towards people like they were either gay or lesbian. Like, oh, they must be like weird,
yeah, they're sort
sexually
of
perverted. I'm like, no, they're not. They're just people. They're everyday people.
strange and perverted. They're sort of like and some and sort of like the sentiment kind of still remains today in that, or the assumption that uh like pedophiles, like men that
Yeah, there was always
young that
yeah.
older men that like the company of younger men in inappropriate age gap, that's sort of like they kind of put that together with homosexuality, and it's not really,
Mm-hmm.
they sort of put uh they group together
Yeah.
homosexuality and pedophilia. This sort of like it fits with the time that like in the 70s that would be the sort of sentimentality towards that idea of people,
Mm-hmm.
group of people, um, and sort of maybe in that way, but also at the same time with strange love, that sort of, oh, she's like attracted, like it's almost like a like a James Bond or a suave guy. Like there's not a woman he's not attracted to. You know, who is he not hitting on? It's sort of like the opposite with Strange Love. Who is she not trying to fuck or hitting on? You know, sort of like that sort of way. It's kind of like the opposite of that. But at the same time, like no, she's highly intelligent. She put someone's well, for me, like I took it as you put someone's consciousness into a machine like that, you know.
Which pretty much is the case. Like she puts, yeah, like pretty much like the boss into like an artificial intelligence
Yes.
and like recreate her basically. So it's like you basically Big Boss comes across another person of the opposite sex from him that has also like a very deep connection and love for the boss
Yes.
as well. So it's kind of like who loves the boss more, whether it was like someone recreating her by technology or someone that knew her
Yeah.
and fought side by side with her.
Yeah.
I feel like it was kind of like that in the beginning, where like Big Boss was like, he has to like kind of like one up his love
Yes.
against hers,
Yes.
and it was it was kind of like that. Like that's where I got like their interactions, kind of like.
Yeah. It does feel like that, yeah. Even though for me, you sort of
Yeah.
side more with Big Boss because you're following Big Boss's story. So you would, and you saw from the last game of how he's feels about the original boss. It's very mother-son relationship kind of. So you sort of feel like, of course, he loves her more than this person that just knows this
Yeah.
person's consciousness or ideas, things like that.
And you also get like the other story from the other side, where it's like, not everybody knows what went down
No.
in that place.
No.
It's only between two people, and one of them sadly is dead because of Big Boss.
No.
And it's like that, like kind of like not not I want to say like not misinformation. Well, you could say misinformation, maybe possibly, but not knowing the whole picture of what happened and why it happened. And I think with Strangelove, it's like she was trying to like make the boss like immortal,
Yeah.
so she would never die again.
Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, but maybe in a way, Big Boss is kind of like insulted because, like, here's this woman that, well, you say you really didn't know her like I knew her, and you're keeping her immortal, and it's something that probably the Big Boss would actually love because he loved his basically his creator, but at the same because there are the scenes where he's trying to talk with the machine, with the AI, and he's actually trying to see if that actually is boss, and it's sort of like it's kind of hard to tell until like kind of the end you get this idea like look and yes it is there is something of the boss in that machine still in there.
But it's not like the whole person. It's almost like an imprint
Yes.
of that person.
Yes.
It's not. You can never get that person back.
No.
But it's like you're trying to cling on to someone.
Yes.
Trying to explain it that way. It's like
it's an interesting conflict for the Big Boss in that like of course you want this person to still be around, but at the same time he almost finds it like it's insulting, like this person you're going against nature. This person died. Even though it's from my hand, and you're trying to, and you're creating something out of it that is not, and it's a weapon. So it's weird. He's insulted, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, who wouldn't want to see a past loved one again? Who wouldn't want them back in their lives? It's interesting.
I think it's also like he's also afraid.
Yes.
He's also like afraid that like, you can't bring a dead person back.
Yeah.
and he was kind of afraid that like it may be the case because when he even heard like he heard like from the beginning, like you heard like just like tapes of like audio of like what potentially may be the boss.
Yeah.
It kind of like made him like it kind of frazzled him like no, it can't be, like she can't be alive, like I killed her.
Yeah, and also, yeah, it might be also a sense of guilt because I took her life, and now you're bringing this person back. They're probably not going to be happy about how things ended, or you don't know.
Mm.
Um, so it's a sense of guilt, a sense of,
Oh yeah, it could be like survivor's guilt
yeah,
because you survived and this person didn't.
yeah,
But it was meant to be that way though. Like even she said it.
yes,
She's like, I basically like trained you and you're gone through all these battles, and the reason why is because you need to surpass me.
it's very much, she very much set up for Big Boss. Essentially, it's almost like
It's like reverse Oedipal,
it's reverse edit,
Oedipus.
but it's also like it's almost in a way she wanted that way
Hmm.
to be. It's not like a suicide pact or anything like that, but it's like in a way like it's not like she didn't fight, she wasn't
Oh
like
hell no, she like
she did
kicked
fight,
my ass several times.
but in a way it was like this is the way it has to go down.
Hmm. Yeah, because she was always about the mission. The
Yes.
mission comes first before anything else,
Yes.
which is true because like she gave up her child, and that's another sad thing. It's like yes, she never really got to like hold her son,
Sure.
and I can only imagine like how that'd be for like a mother, never being able to like be with her child, never be able to hold them, never not see them like grow up through your eyes, but like probably like she was getting like pictures and notes and everything, like how this boy is like growing up. And it's like and that's the similarity with Olga. It's like Olga's child was taken from her as well. Sonny.
Yeah, it's now that I'm thinking about it, just going through these games,
Hmm.
it's a lot of um comp- the theme of like well taking, well, not abortion, but like a taking of a life, but a taking of life before it even begins.
Hmm.
um with a lot of the female characters, losing their children, um and then just just it's a lot of theme of birth, and even mixed with like destruction, and I'm just
Hmm.
going off of just things that the little that I saw of, well, some of the scenes I saw from Ground Zero and some of Fan and Pain. Very much a theme of there's a lot of themes of birth and complications of birth in these games. It's interesting to have that in these games. Um, these sort of like, well, war games. It's interesting.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
So, on a more like lighter note, because like I feel like we're going down like a really somber path.
Yeah,
Even though it's not that like not that like, uplifting as well. It's like
yeah,
we'll talk about like how for a Peace Walker, it's like you have to destroy like all these like I guess you can call them Metal Gears or like Metal
yes,
Gear types,
yeah,
so you can like assemble your own.
yes,
And I like with this game, it's like which I didn't think about, and it didn't like really like come to like fruition until like the end of the game, like
yeah,
the true ending, which like starts beginning of like the whole like you have the one ending and then you have like the true ending,
yeah,
which is just like a continuation. Comes like it's almost like a I would say like I don't know if anybody like warns you in the game,
yeah,
where it's like maybe you shouldn't make your Metal Gear really powerful just yet,
yeah,
because like the real ending battle is like you gotta fight it. Because then it comes like we come to find out what happened all along,
yeah,
how like Big Boss has been like played again,
yeah,
for basically like I think everyone's like got his number. It's like, hey, if you put like, a really like cute or hot girl in front of her or a woman or basically anybody that basically catches attention sexually,
Yeah.
it kind of distracts him.
Yeah.
And it's like he was distracted once again, and we come to find out also like here comes like double agents again.
Yeah.
So we're going back to like the spy world where it's like you have somebody in your ranks and they have their own agenda. And in fact, we finally get to like kind of like find out like what's been happening outside of like Big Boss's world. And the fact that like Zero or however you want to say it, Cypher has been keeping tabs on everyone, like always.
Yeah.
Always in the background, always keeping an eye on everyone, finding out what's happening, especially with John. And we come to find out that like Paz isn't who she says she is.
No.
It's like she wasn't a student. Like that was her cover story. In fact, that she's an agent of Zero or Cypher, however you want to. I'm trying to remember, like, how do they say Cypher? Or did they say Zero?
Cypher sounds more because
At the time, right?
No, I took from because I'm just remembering, watching the games of Peace Walker.
Yeah.
And then some of Ground Zero. Cypher's name gets brought up a lot more to me than Zero.
Oh, okay, so we're back. We're Cypher now.
Cypher.
So it's with Cypher, and then we'll know more about that, like in the Fandom Pain with the story in there as well. Like basically like kind of continuation of Paz and how she was recruited, and then we come to find out that like Paz is really like she's an agent of Cypher, and that now she's gonna like fight the boss. Fight Big Boss. I'm sorry, fight Big Boss. I call him the boss because he is the boss. But if you say the boss, it makes me think of Laurie Allen's character.
Yeah.
So I always like slip my tongue and like forget.
It's kind of like it's like it's very James Bond is like the 007, like taking that title.
Yeah.
Saying 007. Obviously, you think James Bond, but from like the previous films, there was another 007 in that movie as well.
And it's like, and we're introduced to like we hear like all these other songs in the game, like it's very like 70s, and we get like this song that just basically comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even think about it, and it's also refreshing.
Yeah.
It kind of like fits with the battle as well.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take a listen to Love Returns.
I love you 届いてこの想いきっといつかは叶うよねこんな気持ち切なすぎるの始まりなんてわからないの名前も平凡でどこにでもいそうでも生にいても私 切なすぎるのお願い止めて恋の抑止力
So yeah, so we're for this one we're gonna be like going back to back on the songs,
Mhm.
and I want to say for this game it's like very like time period piece, and to go back and then you fight pause, and this song it just feels like it's out of nowhere, and it's like love returns,
Yeah.
and it kind of brings you to the present when the game was like made.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very anime-ish,
Yeah.
and so's the battle. So is the battle itself,
Yeah, that's true.
and I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is also like the battle where it's like we kind of like see like big bosses like superhuman strength,
Yeah.
and it's like I think with the Solid Snake trilogy,
Yeah.
it was like it was always answered by nanomachines.
Yes.
I think for the Big Boss trilogy, um, the answer was parasites. So it was always something. There was
Yeah.
always something, and I think from like battling all those battling the Cobra unit and like pretty much like I'm pretty sure like they're like he was exposed to like their blood and bodily fluids and like also like being like bombarded with like radiation from like nuclear devices must have done something to like alter Big Boss. I mean, it did. It made him sterile, where he couldn't have children of his
Yeah.
own biologically. That's why they had to do the whole cloning process.
Mm.
And I think from that, like you could probably explain it in that way, like, oh, this is why like he can like not have a Metal Gear like crush him to death.
Yeah.
And that's probably where like they come up with the explanation for that. And I was like, when you first see it, you go like, what the hell is this? So like, he can like not be killed by like this giant humongous robot that's gonna crush him to death.
Yeah, it gives that explanation. And also, yeah, that's also kind of like I'm gonna just talk about a little bit
Mm.
about how in this game there's also a theme of uh um, man versus machine.
Hmm.
And that also not just just technology wise, just the abilities of man versus the sort of never ending advancement of technology,
Hmm.
um so but it's also like in war, you have like these um you have soldiers, and then you have not just with strange love, but also just to mention, like, the villains. You have um what is his name, Hot Coldman?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is like the weirdest name you could think
It's a
of.
weird name. It's sort of like
Kind of like going back to like almost like a Mega Man villain.
it's, yeah, but there's, yeah, so you have like this sort of theme of man versus machine,
Hmm.
especially with like the military complex, how it started out with just soldiers, and now we're sort of, and they're um, trying to advance technology, where especially with Hot Coleman, they sort of see a flaw in having uh, uh, human soldiers, and that the flaw is that humans are flawed,
Hmm.
and that they're, with their minds. However, if you have a machine, the machine is, it's very kind of like almost Terminator, like the machine is cold. The machine is, you program it to do one thing, and it's nothing's gonna stop it from doing it.
Hmm.
Um, however, with man has a conscience, so men can have doubts. Well, machines, once it's set to go off, they're very much. This very much reminded me of, especially near the end of the game, how
Hmm.
how Skynet, very Terminator 3, like there's no stopping Judgment Day. It's going to happen. Um, you know, um, it's kind of like the yeah, kind of just a little tangent on Terminator series.
Yeah.
How two kind of seems like hopeful, like you can prevent the apocalypse.
Mhm.
Like in 3 is kind of like it scratches that. Whereas like no, the apocalypse was always going to happen.
Mhm.
And you know, they're more trying to make a fail-safe and, for humanity, more hopes for the future, where you know, you have John Connor put into
Yeah.
the bunker in the end. So here, yeah, this very much reminded me of that, where like the war and the end of humanity is, there's no stopping it, especially with, you know, the creation of machines. Machines are going to win
Mhm.
because they can't stop it. It's what they're programmed to do. So yeah, that very much reminded me of Terminator. And as far as like with the anime style music, I think anime is I don't know if we talked about it. I think anime is very much Kojima is very much influenced, has an anime influence in his work, and you could see that visually in future games. And also here, I guess, as well, because you have like the comic book art, you have
Mhm.
comic book art also can lead to also just manga. Um, so that sort of influence. So there's always been an anime influence in Kojima's work in his games, obviously with Zone of the Enders.
Mhm.
You have the is it Tojo or Godzilla influence in Zone of the Enders, and here you have super soldiers and just the outlandish characters,
Yeah.
obviously.
The mech robots.
And mech robots, and you have with these, and also kind of like, yeah, anime in sort of like the sort of not just the incredible abilities of characters, but also kind of like science fiction anime, where it's very much these sort of ridiculous ideas of technology and what they create, like these huge, you know, weapons and machines. So you have that anime influence in the series and in this game as well. So it's very, it comes out of nowhere, but it's kind of like what you kind of understood, like at this point, if you're in the series and you're a Kojima fan, you understand like, okay, he was able to slip some anime um, into the game, into the series. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like how like you were saying that like machine is like a machine is perfect.
Yes.
It's not flawed.
Perfect soldier.
And then when you like go into like trying to blend like a human consciousness into a machine, and then you get like basically what can happen.
Yes.
Like usually a machine is like will self-preserve, will not self-destruct on its own.
Yes.
Yeah, you get like the boss's AI basically doing what her character like the human would do. And it's that like, you know, it's all about the mission.
Yes.
And for her it's like the mission was she has to like destroy herself.
Yes.
So instead of her life being taken, she's actually in control of her life for this time, in a way.
Yeah, it's in control, right? It's also like kind of like doubly tragic because she has to basically lay her life down again.
Yeah, for the world. Yeah.
Yeah, and before it was, you know, because she, you know, because she chose a side, but in this time it's, I guess it's also a redemption of sorts, in that she lays down her life for all of humanity.
Yeah. Yeah, because like in 3, it's like she was on a mission the whole entire time for the U.S. government, and because of politics, she was sacrificed.
Yes.
So she had no say in that.
Yeah.
Really, and for Peace Walker, it's like she does have a say in her own death.
Yeah, she gains her freedom.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to be stuck as a machine. Like she'll be continuously living forever, for as long as the machine runs. It's like, who wants that? Like she knows. Like there's probably a piece of that AI that knows that like this person does not exist anymore.
Yeah,
why continue living?
Self-aware. They know that they know that it's like it's also like RoboCop in that uh they had the thing where he says like call me Murphy, but in
Oh
the end
yeah.
he knows that he's not what he was.
Hmm.
He's something else now. He's RoboCop. um Alex Murphy died.
Hmm.
um so it's sort of like in that sense, like they know that they're not who they were, but at the same time they have that sort of the remaining human element, uh, and in that way, the human element actually uh, saves us all. You know, maybe it's not the perfect weapon or perfect soldier in war, but in order to stop war, it's the perfect element to have the consciousness. That's the only way to stop war.
Hmm.
Is human consciousness through it's the human decision to say, that's enough, this is wrong, we stop it now, stop it here. um yeah.
It's also like, and you also get like the like, it's both sad, but it's also like very like, you also kind of like are like happy
Yes.
for the character.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the way you were saying, like the song that she sings,
Yes.
which is like, it's very like, it's like a blend of like robot and human.
Yeah, Kojima had like in these games like things that like just like feel like they come out of nowhere.
Hmm.
And just like a side note, like even like he has, I don't know if you've seen this, but he has like a cameo in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
He just comes out of nowhere.
I think it's like the beginning
And the
of that.
visual is just like meant to like, oh, wait, that's it. It's just like he just appears out of nowhere.
So like, it's like in his mind, like, I'm in this world and this is how I would be.
Yeah, and but yeah, there's you know, Kojima very much has
Mhm.
like these sort of moments in the game and in stories where things just seem to come out of nowhere, but they're actually very well executed and
Mhm.
on purpose. And so yeah, there you have this boss's like theme music in the end comes out of no. It almost seems like it comes out of nowhere, but it's very much on purpose as to why it happens and it occurs.
Yeah, and it's like we get like another like, here's another like kind of like Western theme
Yes.
where it's like, technically at that time, at that moment, she is the hero,
Yes.
and the hero is riding off,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, to pass away. So it's like, it's kind of like Shane,
Yes.
where it's like, from my interpretation, Shane's dead
Yes.
at the end of that movie, and
Mhm.
that's why he doesn't turn back to when
Yes.
the kid's calling out to him.
Mhm.
Other people have said like, no, he's probably injured and he's doing the cowboy thing, like the hero rides off into the sunset, not to look back.
Yeah, I mean, you could put that he's dead or that he's in, or he could be just dying in the moment.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's up to their interpretation. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like he's like on the verge of like slipping, and the last thing he wants to do is like not die in front of the people that he saved. And same thing with like with the boss in the AI pod. It's like she's basically, she has to like save the world
Mm-hmm.
for the last time,
Mm-hmm.
and in doing so, she has to ride off into the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah. I we started this episode thinking that
Mhm.
or I started this episode saying like this does have it does have Bond-esque elements, but this is very much like, oh, this does kind of feel like Bond in the end of No Time to Die.
Hmm.
It does feel like that. This sort of this the knowing your time's up and
Hmm.
you have to sacrifice yourself.
It's like the last ride.
Yes.
And you know what? Come to think of it, like everyone's always going about like, and we even said it like, oh, it's very Bond, it's very Bond. How about like a lot of these games are very like Western,
Yes.
where the hero has a ride off
Yes.
into the sunset, or like, or they wherever they have to go, but it's always like it's involving someone going off and everyone's watching.
Yeah. And also, um, it's just like it's just the fact like violent lives
Hmm.
die violently.
Yeah.
So like if you if you cause violence, violence will come to you. That's what's going to be your end. So it's no like surprise, like with any Western, any cowboy, or even here, where like, yeah, you have to sacrifice yourself, and it's just the way it has to be in order for there to be peace.
And like in my side note, like I kind of wish like Kojima would like make a cowboy game, like a Western game.
Yeah.
Like I can only imagine like if he's going to research it, I would like whisper in his ear like, you know, check out John Ford Western films. So like that would be like really good, especially with like The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Yeah,
Titles like that.
now that you bring it up, like it's kind of surprising
Mhm.
that you go into the. I mean, he does. You do see
He,
young
yeah,
Revolver Ocelot. It's
who's
kind of
very
surprising,
John Wayne, kind of like.
John Wayne, but like, well, I wonder if he ever thought like, well, maybe I can. I don't know if he has plans to.
Mhm.
Why not do a game about Revolver? About
Oh,
him?
that'd be so cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he's beyond the series now. He's doing his own thing,
yeah,
which is like if you think about it, that's another Western style. Like here comes the hero riding in on his like futuristic bike,
that's true. Yeah,
and it's like he's the only man who can do it,
yeah,
and then basically like the village, the town comes to the hero, to the cowboy. Like you can only do it. You only possess the keys to get this mission done.
yeah. It's very much. You know, Kojima has done his work with Metal Gear, and now he rides off. It's very much like that.
Mhm.
It's very Western and inspired styles, but especially with the characters he's created, how they go off into the sunset.
But that would be like probably a really good like spin-off
Yeah,
for like Konami
yeah,
to like, hey, we're kind of stepping away from the snakes
yeah,
and the bosses. How about a revolver game?
yeah,
Because he's like very much like when I like when I see him in the Phantom Pain,
mhm,
it's like, oh man, it's we're back to Mr. Western, Mr. Cowboy here,
mhm,
and it's like John Wayne. Like when you think of John Wayne, he's like always a cowboy.
yeah,
It's like I don't think of John Wayne or anything else.
yeah,
And with Ocelot, I always think of him as like, yeah, he's a cowboy stuck in the wrong time.
yeah,
He's very like of like westerns, and even to his wardrobe gets even more in the Phantom Pain.
yeah. Yeah, kind of like a little. It's interesting with the themes that Kojima puts in his games, and it also seems like he very much plays with like not style, but with time, in that you'll have a character that seems to be like out of a western,
Yeah,
but they're in like the the modern day, or in the uh, or during the Cold War. You have like these characters that look like they should be. They look like they're out of time, but they just happen to
yeah,
be there.
and
Yeah,
that's what I feel like for Ocelot.
yeah,
Other than four, which is like I feel like he's full on. Um, I don't even know what to think of like in four when he's like Liquid Ocelot. Like Ocelot, like a whole different beast
yeah,
compared to like Western Ocelot. That's what we get in three, in five, and then one, we get Western Ocelot, and that's always like the Ocelot I always remember.
hmm,
And like since like the last game is, the Phantom Pain, it's the last one that's burned into my mind,
hmm,
and that he's just like he's basically like where we were gonna leave off in one,
yeah,
where it's the duster jacket. He's got like his revolvers.
hmm,
He's got the spurs in his boots,
yeah,
and he does have like a little bit like a kind of like not full on, but there's a subtle hint of like a cowboy twang
yeah,
into his in his speech and when he talks.
hmm,
And it's like, man, this guy like he should have just been a cowboy,
yeah,
because like you'll see it in Phantom Pain when we finally get to see him and Venom Snake, riding off on horses. He's wearing like basically like a bandana over his face because they're in a sandstorm.
yeah,
But it's like, man, he is a cowboy.
yeah,
Like there's no doubt about it. Like
mhm,
this man, isn't there during that time. It's like the 80s. Like this man is stuck in the 80s, but he belongs back in like in the 1900s,
Yeah.
and he probably would fit in right in like without losing a beat.
Yeah.
And that's like that's the ocelot that I ended with.
Mhm.
And it's like when it comes to like the whole liquid blending with revolver and keeping that that keeping that like persona and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's like I like Ocelot. I really do enjoy his character.
Mhm.
When I'm not fighting him, which
Yeah.
is 4.
Yeah.
Really the only part like I hated about 4
Mhm.
is what the character became.
Yeah.
But then I understand like why it became that character.
Yeah.
Because like, being the son of the boss
Yeah.
and being with the man who both idolized and loved his mother
Mhm.
as much as like a son would.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like, adopted son bonding with the biological son. So we got that brotherhood right there. Like they actually are like almost like brothers.
He's like well, just going off of visually, he's
Mhm.
almost like a mashup between Loki and the Winter Soldier. It's like if
Hmm.
those two people
Yeah.
were like you amalgam them
If you fuse
together.
them
Yeah.
like Dragon Ball Z style.
Mhm.
Um yeah, and I think that's where we'll leave off because like we're gonna go into Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain because I think there's so much like music and themes to talk about in there. It's
Yeah.
like this one's like more like Peace Walker. We'll talk about
Yeah.
and we also like blended off into some other places, but yeah, like it was like I want to say like it's a game that like it's truly like appreciated, especially if you're new to the series and the only games you really came into were like the last ones.
Yeah.
It Peace Walker would be a great story filler
Yes.
to get you caught up with Ground Zeroes because Ground Zeroes takes place right after Peace Walker. There's
Yes.
maybe it's like a couple of months after, but it's not. Usually these games there's always like years
Yeah.
in between. It's when the between Peace Walker and 5,
Yeah.
it's right after each other. There's no real big time gap, which also is like refreshing
Yes.
because like everyone else's years, this one's like boom, we're going right into it.
Mhm.
We're not missing a beat, and it is different. And then knowing what we know now, it's like those were the last games,
Yeah.
so it's like very like not rushed, but it's just the right amount of time. Like not to make like this was the early 70s, now we're in the late 80s or something like that.
Mhm.
It's like you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And they probably wanted to keep like they didn't want to like because with each game like they had to like go back and like kind of like re-edit the timeline.
Yeah.
So I think like for all everyone's sake and sanity, so no one loses their mind, um, there comes in play like let's not make the time gap that long,
Mhm.
and then basically jumping back into the characters that we knew from Peace Walker, which Ground Zeroes becomes heartbreaking, and that's a whole other thing. Like
Yeah.
we'll go into that next episode. Especially for pause. It's like, I mean, sometimes these games like do like all medias of art, they do evoke emotions.
Yes.
You can become emotional. I think with Ground Zeroes, from the result of it, it actually was pretty emotional for on my end for some of these characters
Absolutely.
for what happened.
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave it there. We'll return back for the next iteration of our basically breakdown of music and
Yeah.
the series. I want to thank Jonathan for coming back, and it's been a while. It hasn't been too long. We'll be back. We'll have that probably I want to like bookmark it to like maybe mid to like end of August.
Okay.
So I want to thank you, Jonathan, for coming here, and I'm gonna say like always very like curious, and I always have a chuckle from your wrestling thirst traps of your tweets. And I think is there like an event coming on?
Today is SummerSlam,
That's what I thought.
so I'll be checking it out.
So you'd definitely be on there tweeting about your ladies of wrestling. But other than that, I hope you enjoy this episode. The brothers will be back. we will continue on, and I'll have other guests later. I will have other guests on this on other episodes as well. Thank you for listening, and our intro and outro music was by Fingers. Bye.